There are just over 5 months left in this year, and things have to change. So I thought, why not make a challenge out of it? 5 months to change certain aspects of my life and to make it better. Here are the 4 things that I want to change. One of them is my social media addiction. I would perhaps not go so far as to call it an addiction, but habit is probably a good one. The feeling of loneliness / disconnectedness I have a lot of the time. The third one is performance, and this is related to me being a singer. And the last one is movement. These are the 4 areas that I really want to work on for the last 5 months of this year. Let's talk about it. Here are the things that I thought I could do and the goals I have in order to make these things happen. First of all, let's start with my social media habit / being on my phone too much. I think we all know this feeling. It's very common for people these days to just be on their phones a lot. And I've been noticing this a lot, especially ever since I thought about this, creating this challenge and making this a thing for myself. I spend too much time on my phone. Like, I could cut down my phone time at least an hour every single day and spend it on something that brings me actual meaning. Yes, I am not going to deny myself a little bit of a scroll every day. Like, it's fine to do that. It's a way of unwinding too, especially during the week after like work. But there are ways to reduce it. Here are the guidelines that I want to give myself, and let's see if they are doable. I want to limit my social media consumption to roughly 3 check-ins per day. This excludes like my social media habit. While I'm talking about this, I am a singer and or an author, so I have to spend a little bit of time every day on social media to post things, to interact with people. That is excluded from this, and that's not a lot of time. Usually that's like maybe 20 minutes per day. It's really very little. 3 check-ins per day are meant, and as this is for my pleasure, so I wanted to like be able to check social media in the morning, like maybe not right after I wake up, but like sometime around breakfast. Just, 10 minutes, tops 15, to check in, see what's been going on, see if anybody's written to me, stuff like that. I will allow myself to still have a little bit of a doom scroll each day, like just 20-ish minutes. Usually this will probably be after I come home from work. I really like just unwinding through scrolling a little bit through social media. I also do other things to unwind, usually before I do my little doom scroll. The last one is, and this is probably something a lot of you can relate to some degrees, I want to use YouTube and Netflix less as a background noise, because this is often what I use it as, like having reruns of my favorite shows on that I've already seen like dozens of times. For example, Gilmore Girls. I watch that show a lot. I want to do that less. I know that sometimes it is a good thing to have that on because it brings you comfort, and especially if you're already really anxious, this might be a good way to calm that down. But I also notice I do this just generally a lot, even when I'm not feeling anxious or poorly in general. I want to be a bit more mindful about my consumption of YouTube videos and of movies and series. The social media one is going to be tough. I think it's probably going to be the toughest, maybe, but it's also at the same time technically pretty easy to do. Like, you don't need to go out and buy things for it. You don't need to move your body for it. You just need to find other ways to spend your time. I've gotten so used to this. I didn't necessarily grow up with it. I am 28. I was born in 97, so it wasn't really part of growing up. It was really only something I was introduced when I was in my later teens. Social media in general. Back then it was Facebook and then Instagram and obviously YouTube too. But I've gotten so used to it over the last 10 years, and it's time to get a little less used to it again. So this is my first point. Let's move on to the second one, which is the feeling of loneliness and disconnectedness. And this is a big one. I have lived in the city that I live in for 2.5 years, roughly now. Actually, pretty much exactly 2.5 years now, I think. And I still feel kind of disconnected here. Like, I know some people, I have some acquaintances, I have some casual friends, but I don't really feel like I've put down friendship related roots. I have tried going to some courses and stuff like that, like dance courses, but the thing was, it's kind of tough with my changing schedule. With my previous job, that was the case. With my current job, that's also kind of the case. That with the work time I have, it changes depending on the season and the month. And during the times when most courses run, which is usually not in the summer and not around Christmas, but like all the other time of the year, courses like sports, language courses, and stuff like that, it's usually at the time where I'm working. The thing is, I don't live in a huge city. If I lived in a huge city, I would probably be able to find courses that happen at times of day when it works out for me. But since I live in a medium-sized city in my country, like it's one of the larger cities in my country, but it's still medium-sized compared to other cities, there's not that much on offer, especially not things that I would actually be even mildly interested in. So this is a little bit of an issue, but we will find ways around that. I have already started trying to figure some of them out. Let's talk about it. Obviously, the first thing is going to be use every chance I can to meet people. And there are a few things, very personal things that I've written down about this already. And literally use the connections I already have to maybe meet more people when the connection is already offering this. So I have no excuses. No excuses at this point. I should just go and do it. I'm not very good at that. And I think part of the reason for that is also that I have my library job, I write books, and I make music, which in and of itself is at least 3 part-time jobs. And that can be very time consuming. And I still want to be spending a little bit of time resting. We need to do better. I need to schedule a little bit better too. I've started realizing this over the last few weeks. I can schedule it in, and I also need to schedule in more rest, but I've been prioritizing that a little more. I will schedule it in. It will happen. I will take every opportunity I can get. One of the things I want to do is find 2 or 3 different clubs that I can maybe go to. One of these I've already booked into a meeting, and that is a book club. It's not happening until September because they're having a break in August. A summer break. So this is the first one that we're definitely going to do. I will keep on the lookout for sports courses that maybe I can do. It's just about making connections, finding new acquaintances, finding new friends. And I feel like if I make that happen, I will also feel less of a need to spend like time on social media, and maybe also to have less background noise through series and stuff like that, because I don't feel as disconnected and as lonely a lot of the time. So the goal is to have 3 of these like club or stuff like that, attend at least 3 things over the course of the next 5 months. We have our stuff cut out for us, to be honest, because this is going to take time, and this is going to take brain stuff. And I'm tired today, so this is sounding not as eloquent as it might usually. The next point is something that's actually related to my job as a singer and songwriter and producer, but mostly my singing part of the career. And that is, I want to perform more. I want to take every chance I can to perform. I have already made a performance plan that I've been trying my best to stick to over the last 1 or 2 months already. And I want to continue that. I want to be as proactive as possible. I want to approach as many venues and festivals and stuff like that, because a lot of these things are planned quite a bit of time ahead. I want to approach as many of them as possible, but be proactive, but be not bothersome in the process of that. And that's kind of hard because a lot of venues, a lot of festivals, they get so many people being like, would you maybe consider letting me play? And you have to be sometimes a little bit insistent, but you have to also know when it's too much. And that balance is hard to find. I tend to be on the side where I often feel too bothersome too quickly. Like I'll write one email and then never follow up because I don't want to bother them. But the reality is, one email, if it's not coming from somebody they already know and they're already connected with, is probably either going to land in spam or it's going to just disappear into the ether. Be a little bit persistent, but obviously in a very respectful way. But know when it's enough. This one is a tough one. I really, really, really want to perform. I will do my best to perform. And we will see how far we get in this. I didn't set any specific goals for this because I feel like this will depend, so like performance-wise, it will depend so much on if people react and are like, yeah, sure, you can perform at this and this event. And there's a chance that I might get some performances for this and next year. There's also a chance that I will get absolutely nothing. This is the nature of being an indie artist. You get so many rejections all the time. So you're kind of expecting it, even though you'll obviously always hope for a positive reply. So I will keep my hopes up. I will be persistent, respectfully so, and I will not give up. And I will write to all the venues that I can think of, honestly. We're doing this. We're really doing this. The last point is probably a pretty self-explanatory one, is I want to involve more movement and working out, like consistent working out again in my routine. I feel like I've kind of fallen off the bandwagon over the last month or so. I want to dance for 15 minutes almost every single day, like just casual improvised dancing to whatever music I'm feeling like on that day. It gets the body moving. It's fun. That's the important part. And it gets rid of some of the emotions that sometimes build up in me. Dancing is the best way to do that from my personal experience for me. So we're involving that. And the goal is to do it at least like 4 to 5 times a week, but ideally all days of the week. I want to do cardio 2 times a week and like strength training or weight training 2 times a week. Those are the goals. I don't have any weight loss or weight gain or any goals like that specifically. I just want to keep moving. I am at a pretty healthy weight right now. I think that roughly maintaining my weight is going to be a good idea. If I gain a kilo or 2 of muscle mass or even a little more, let's go for it. We like the muscles. We like them strong. These are the goals that I have for the next 5 months. I will keep you updated at least once a month on what's happening and what's going on, depending on if anything special and cool and interesting happens, maybe even a little more often. We'll see about that. But I will check in once a month and see if I've achieved anything and how all these things are going. Especially, I'm curious about, especially the social media part, like how that's going to play out. And of course, the performance one. If I achieve even some of the goals on this, it's going to make my life so much better. Seriously. So we are looking to improve my quality of life in the end. And this is a 5-month challenge. In 5 months and a little bit, because I still have to cut this video, this year will be over. And then we will see what the end result is. Seriously. I am curious. How will I end this year? Who will I be at the end of this year? Let's see. Let's see. If you want to join me in this challenge, go for it. I would recommend having like 3 to 4 overarching goals like I have, and then like between 3 and 4 maybe, or 2 and 4 goals within each goal. And be a little bit ambitious, but maybe be realistic at the same time. I will check in with y'all again in either 2 weeks or a month. Let's see how far I can make it. I'm a little bit scared now. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. And I think in the next video, I will not only be sitting here and talking with you about the results, I'll also be like inserting some clips that show what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, so you can see a little bit of how it's going. This is me for today. For tonight, it's really late already. Keep dreaming. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you want, partake. And tag me if you do. Let's keep each other company while we do this, and let's hold each other accountable. I'll see you very, very soon. Bye!
Let each last fade or something.